Today, we are talking about how singing is like dating. And you might go, what, Arden? I don't understand. And that's okay. If you did understand, you'd be operating differently in your energy and in your technique. And that's why we're here to help give you guys some tools to up level. So, the thing that first I want you guys to just like get, if you haven't heard me say this before, is that singing is like dating in the sense that singing is an energy game. And so is dating. Dating is an energy game, right? Like, if you date and use the apps or whatever, like you can, see a picture of somebody and they seem really cool. And then you like get it in the actual room with them where you're interacting and they're not at all what you're interested in because their energy is very different. So singing is an energy game in that your sound is a form of energy, right? Sound is a form of energy, like light, like heat, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. That's high school physics. That's the law of entropy. Okay. So your job is to be the most open channel of energy, your instrument, your body, to be the most open channel for that energy in the form of sound to move through you and be received by the audience in the most unimpeded way. And when that happens, then you make the biggest impact. And that is what is required of you, especially if you want to be a professional singer, because impact equals income. The bigger the impact, the bigger the income. So to that end, being an energetic endeavor, your energy matters because your body is responding to it. In the same way that, our body responds to the thoughts that are in our mind when it comes to how we feel about something, right? The energy that we're in, if we feel excited or loving, is very different than the energy that we feel if we are scared or embarrassed, right? Or worried. The body responds to those things in different ways. Physically, physiologically, your physical reaction to fear is fight or flight. And the body will do that versus if you're feeling confident or excited, your body is just open and trusting. So the reason I'm telling you this is because singing is an energy game. The energy with which you approach any performance matters because your body is responding to that, and the performance will be successful or not in terms of its impact, depending on the energy that you are in. So how singing is like dating is kind of like this. If you think about when you are interested in somebody, right? Most of us, if you are single now, you probably get this, or if you are married, you remember back to your single days where like, if somebody's chasing you, it doesn't feel good, right? If there's like a guy or a girl who just won't leave you alone and is like texting you and calling you, and it's like, come on, let's go out, or pay attention to me. And like, they're just coming on so strong. It's usually not cute. It's usually not attractive because you just feel like so accosted by their energy. And we are generally not interested in that. Most of the time, we're interested in the person who's just doing their thing, owning their space, and we're drawn to that. They don't need to, catcall or whistle or constantly like blow up your phone. Like those things are not attractive. It speaks of desperation and lack of confidence a lot of times versus the person who's just living their best life, standing there, owning their space. They're drawing us to them. We're drawn to them energetically. So it's a very different energy. Now, the way that this has to do with singing and how it relates and translates to singing is if you think about performers, like for example, if you watch any of the competition shows, if you watch Idol or The Voice or whatever, I guarantee you've seen people like this who get up on that stage and they are metaphorically chasing boys or chasing girls, right? They're that person who in the dating scenario is constantly chasing you, constantly blowing up your phone, won't leave you alone. And you're like, stop, right? That's the unattractive energy because they're chasing you, right? And what does grandma say? Don't chase boys, right? This is the same energy that when you watch a lot of the competition shows you see, which is that person who's up on that stage singing, while they may have a objectively good voice, the performance is not, you're not engaged or impacted in that performance because their energy is very much like, look at me, love me, choose me, pick me. And it's all this very trying so hard energy. It's like they're chasing boys. It's the same energy. Or they're chasing girls. They are chasing their audience. It's a very outwardly focused energy that smacks of insecurity and desperation. And they are trying so hard. And in the same way that you don't generally want to date that person who's chasing you, audiences generally are not going to continue to want to listen to or choose, in this case, if it's an audition or whatever, the performer who's on that stage with that, like, love me, pick me, you know, that energy that's all, you know, and it's just like, just stop. You don't need to try so hard, right? But they are chasing you. Okay. And what that does, they need your approval. They need you to choose them, to love them, all of that energy that's focused that way. We feel when we're on the other side of it as the audience members. But what's worse, they're cutting off their connection with that audience, which is absolutely necessary if they're going to do this professionally, to be able to make records that people want to listen to, do shows that people want to continue to buy tickets for, win auditions. Also, the problem is that the sound that you create when you are chasing boys, metaphorically speaking, is a sabotage of the instrument and the technique that you otherwise have available to you, because it ends up making you push out. You are pushing the sound out. You're chasing boys. Everything is focused out and this way. And your body is going to create that. So it ends up contracting and pushing, which sabotages the breath support, sabotages the technique. So you don't end up making the best possible sound that you could make, which then makes you insecure and more desperate, which makes you push more and chase boys more. Okay. So what we talk about in this analogy is bring the boys to you, bring the audience to you, bring the sound to you. Stand in full ownership of your instrument, of your energy, of your space. Claim it, own it, and bring the boys to you or the girls to you in that metaphor of energy. Do not chase your audience, okay? Everything that you want to achieve with that impact gets sabotaged when you do that. The sound, the energy, the connection, all of it. So a really great tool for this that I like to give our singers who are in our intensive training program is the idea of sing to the audience that's behind you. So if you're somebody who's so focused on getting the sound out and look at me and, this all energy, which is all very focused this way that causes you to push that way, what if your audience was behind you? Your body is going to respond differently. This is the idea that the difference between explode the sound versus implode the sound, which is a much more efficient way of thinking to get the sound that you want and the technique out of your voice that you want. So it's another way of engaging with your instrument differently. If the audience were behind you, then I don't have to push out to be seen. I don't have to go in this direction. So you have two tools here. You have bring the audience to you. Don't chase your audience. And what could it be? Like if I sang to the audience that were behind me. These are ways of orienting your energy so that you don't sabotage your support and your technique by pushing. With this one thought, if you think, I'm bringing the sound to me, I'm bringing the audience to me, rather than I am chasing the sound, I'm chasing my audience, right? It makes a massive difference in what that thought, those thoughts make a massive difference in what your body does. Because again, your body's only ever responding to your thoughts. Okay. So as you move into your singing this week, I really want you to play with bringing the audience to you, bringing the sound to you, bringing the lyrics to you, singing to the audience that's behind you. Play with these ideas, you guys. A different intention will get a different result out of your technique and out of your body. Now, if you still have confusion around, well, Arden, that's all very well and good, but I don't even really know what I'm doing with my body. I feel like I've been taught breath support before, but it doesn't really show up in my body the right way. So I think I've been winging it this whole time. I don't even really know what I'm supposed to be doing. Or I've been, taking lessons forever, and I just keep struggling with the same issues. I'm not getting into the callbacks, or I still have to do like 35 takes before I get one that I like. And I don't know how I'm going to reproduce this live. Like if these are things that you're dealing with, or you deal with vocal fatigue, tension, strain, like these ideas, they will help. And I want you to try them, but there is a bigger gap between where you are and where you want to go, a bigger gap between the technique you have and the potential of your voice when you really embody things that you've never been taught before. And so if that's the kind of training that you feel like you've been missing, that you've been lacking, if you are a serious singer who really wants to move the needle further than you have to get better outcomes from auditions, your records, your performances, then absolutely I want to invite you to book a discovery call with me. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about what's going on with your singing. I want to understand what the big issues are that you've been struggling with, that have been keeping you and that ceiling from really breaking through to the bigger opportunities and the higher potential of your sound. And we're going to talk about where you are, where you want to go. And I will share with you the step-by-step of how we get our singers to that next level of elite performance and elite sound. And if it feels like a fit for you, awesome. I'll share with you what the training program looks like. And if not, that's okay too. But I don't want you to be shy if you're a serious singer, meaning you're not just like dabbling. You're not like, oh, I'm just singing a little bit in church, or I'm just like doing a little karaoke. No, like if you're in this to win, to create a really meaningful journey, do it professionally, or at least professionally avocationally. You know what I'm saying? If you're serious about that and getting to the next level, then I'm going to put the link in the chat for you to hop on a call with me. So if you're watching on Facebook, here's a copy. If you're watching on Facebook, here, I'm putting this in the chat right now for you. Ta-da! Enter. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link to book a call with me is in the post copy. So just scroll up and click to see the rest of the post copy, and you'll see the link to get on my call calendar. Okay, you guys, play with this idea. Don't chase boys. Bring the boys to you. Singing is like dating. It's an energy game. So work on your energy, because if you're not doing that, and if you do not have a teacher who is actively giving you tools to do that, then you'll continue to be frustrated. And if you think you want to work with me to do that, then get on my call calendar. Okay, guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. So happy to see everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.